Right, so we are doing, what are we doing today? We are doing anterior chest in exhalation. Exhalation. Okay. So, we're going to be doing this setup very similar as if we're doing a collarbone or whether we're doing a C joint. So we're going to have a support hand around the back. We're going to have a hand over the top, okay? And what we actually want to do is make sure that when we are moving our body, that we're creating tension between those 2 points to the point of which we're going to impulse. Now, the same as if we did a posterior rib, that setup will feel very similar, but the biggest key here that everybody messes up is that it needs to be a single hand impulse, okay? So the difference will be if I'm set up and I'm set up over an anterior rib like this, that an anterior rib impulse should be there, where a posterior rib will be here, or holding and dropping down, okay? But what we tend to find is that people get into this position, and then from here, they'll actually impulse the wrong way, and what we're doing is we're hitting a PA rib, not an anterior rib down. Dependent on, obviously, where that anterior rib is, depends on where the position is of the person. And if we say had an anterior rib at T8, then the tension pattern for the person on the bench will be different than if we had it for a T3 or 4. So it looks different. Obviously, we have to be wary as well that if we have a female, then we're over sensitive tissue. So there's different things we can do around that. So Lou, you start for me. Lay down, please. He's getting in position. So you'll be able to feel it. Decked it straight away. Love it. So, Hannah, can you just bring the camera, and you be the camera person, and we're going to bring it round here, if that's all right, looking this way. So we can get them to start by either being set up, or we can take a shoulder, and we're going to look at which rib position we want to do. So if I'm trying to do an anterior rib on T3, then obviously my support hand needs to be on T3, so it's going to be quite high. I'm going to roll them back over. And then from this position, we can have them tucked up a little bit more if we need to, or we can have the elbows down, depending on how much tension we want into the thoracics. If the hands are up here, then we're going to have a lot more tension into the thoracics than down here. Now, this isn't about how high it is, it's about the feel that you get, and depends on how curved their thoracic spine is. So if they've got a lot more flexibility and they haven't got a lot of the kyphosis, which with you is more neutral, I might be happy to have the hands at a lower grip. Whereas if I've got someone with a really high kyphosis, or that they are hypermobile, then I want to take more tension out of that thoracic, okay? Either way, that hand needs to be over that rib here. You all right? Now, what I am going to be doing, because if we think the sensitive tissue here, regardless of whether it's male or female, I'm not going to be having my hand over like this. What I am going to be doing is arching the hand up, and I'm going to be more onto my my pisiform. Jesus Christ, thank you for that. Student nodding like, come on, the anatomy. So pisiform contact, I'm going to have contraction into my hypophyna and phena to keep the fingers away from that sensitive tissue. So I'm over like that. Now, my body, I mean, you can feel that straight away over there. Now, my body position is another thing, okay? Because realistically, if I'm stood like I am now, look at my lumbars, look at my body, look at my back. I am having to move in all different positions to create stability, and my conversion of X is all over the place. If I'm on one foot and I bring the other leg backwards, suddenly I can either rest my foot onto the bench for support, or if I want, I can hold, if I've got a good balance to be over. As soon as I bring that leg back, suddenly I can square my shoulders and I am up and above, and I'm now in one direction. I'm literally there compared to like over here, okay? Depends on what you're comfortable doing. So there's the rib there. I'm going to square my shoulders. Now, one of the things that you will find as well is people will over-rotate the shoulder. And if we're doing this, you're going to put a lot more pressure into your AC and into your clavicle. So we want the arms back, and we want to be tucked up. So if I'm as close to here as I can be, and then I impulse, that's much safer for me, and I'm taking out a lot more levers than if I'm over here. My elbow comes out to impulse down, I've got to produce force that way, back in and then into my wrist, where if I'm here, I'm just there straight away, less levers. So it makes it easy for me. Back into that T3. I'm up and I'm over. I'm tweaking until I feel it, and then from there, the impulse will be there. Now, we actually had cavitation on the PA, but the impulse was on the anterior. Now, I'm not going to whittle about the cavitation on the back, as long as I know that the impulse went into the correct area. If I'm impulsing on the back, and all the forces go in that area, I don't have a cavitation, it's still not good because the impulse is in the wrong area. It needs to be on that anterior aspect. We're stimulating by proprioception. It's the proprioception, the correct vector that is what we need. So let's go as if we're going down to a T8. I can do it sat again and lean back, or I can go into this position. Now on a T8, the hand's going to be down. If it's somebody who has sensitive breast like tissue, I want to make sure that my hand is more flat. Okay, I don't want to be across, so it's there. If they feel on the size of the breast tissue, they could actually take a hand and cup across like that, so you're underneath, so they create a barrier away from you. Just watch that, this elbow, so this hand needs to be up and across like that. Okay, so then you're not elbowing yourself, hands like a blade. If you bring the camera around, you can see the gap. That's better. So that's now over it, hands like that. And then from this position, square myself up. You can turn their head to feel which way is better as well. If you turn your head to the left, turn your head to the right, it's going to create rotations to the thoracics. That way for me is better for you. And then it would be there on exhalation. Feel okay? Feel sore or not? Or not too bad? Cool. So, we need to practice that. Are you all right to... Yeah, it's cool. So I'll just show you on Hannah. If you go backwards, we're going to go for maybe a T... What? Should we go T6 maybe, central chest? So Hannah, what we're going to do, I'm going to lift you up like this. Shoulders going to go down. Now with you, I'm going to place the hands a little bit lower on each side. Okay. If you want, you can place a hand across. Perfect. I'm just going to place my hand underneath here. Right. So from there, everything's out of the way. I'm now on my hypothena. Just drop that elbow. That's perfect. So I want you nice and tucked. Now you can feel, if I rock you across, like you feel the contact comes there. So that's under tension. Okay. Whereas if I'm over here, that's more on your sternum. And that has gone too far that way. That's going to be more PA rib. So it's going to be there, and then we can get your head to rotate either side. Okay, so for you, just rotate back this way. Okay, that is lovely over the top of that. So then, I'll turn my head away, take a breath in, all the way out, drop and square myself off, and then it will be there. Don't have to do anything.